welcome back. Before we start today's video, I just want to say how grateful and blown away I am at the reaction that these videos are getting. It's absolutely unreal. When I uploaded the first video, I was gassed that I got 30 views and no dislikes. So for my last video uploaded to get like 3,000 views and over 100 likes, plus all the subscribers that I get, is just mind-blowing to me. And with that said, I'm open to any criticism. I'm not a bicycle mechanic. I'm just a guy who enjoys working on bikes, cleaning them up and giving them a new home. So if you see me doing something wrong, feel free to point it out. So I don't want someone learning a bad habit from seeing me doing something silly. Also, I'm open to suggestions. So if you have any videos that you'd like me to make, feel free to suggest them in the comments below. I'm open to creating anything really. It doesn't have to be just bike flipping. I have a few cool riding videos that I want to make coming up, but I just need the time for that. But yeah, if there's anything that you'd like to see, feel free to drop it below and I'll see what I can do. Until then, what I have behind me here in the car is another bunch of bikes that I didn't need, but I got them cheap and they seem like they'll be good flips, and a bike that has grown in size since the last video. So since the last video, 4 of the 5 bikes have sold for a total of $330, and the 5th bike has been replaced through a swap. So I'll unpack what I have here, we can go through what I've acquired, and we can check out what replaced the last of the 5 bikes. All right, so that's 8 complete bikes and 1 frame set that I fit in the back of the car. I reckon I'd probably have room for maybe 1 more complete bike with a bit of creative maneuvering. But if you fit more in, let me know, because I might need some Tetris tips off you. So that's the 7 bikes set up behind me, and I think I got all the wheels the right way around. But the thing that I'm most happy with is this here. So the bike that didn't sell from the last video was the Reed Condor, which was the small road bike with the index style lever shifters on the stem. A guy on Facebook Marketplace reached out after I had really no interest in it for the week and asked if I wanted to swap. So he offered me this for a straight swap, which is great in my eyes because that was a very bottom of the line bike. This isn't top of the line by any means, but it does have a full Shimano 105 mechanical drivetrain. And I know that it's a great bike to ride because I have this exact bike just a couple of years newer with the internal cable routing. But overall, the bike is nearly identical to the one that I ride. In today's video, I think I'm just gonna quickly tidy this thing up and take it out for my long ride. So the bike itself was actually in really good condition overall. So the bar tape was pretty heavily worn, quite easy to replace. And yeah, the drivetrain was also heavily gunked up and needed a really in-depth clean. Apart from that, it was just things like this saddlebag I removed, a couple of reflector mounts and the speedometer. A lot of the bikes that I get for some reason just have speedometers on them. I don't know if it's just an old person thing, whether they get upsold when they buy these bikes, but a lot of them have them attached. So I actually thought that I recorded myself removing the bar tape and the accessories off the handlebars, but I couldn't find the footage, so I think I may have forgot to press record. So we jumped straight to me putting the bar tape back on the bike. But yeah, even just doing this bar tape and taking the stuff off the handlebars made a huge difference to the bike. Once I got the bike decluttered and sort of happy with where it was at, I took it outside and gave it a really thorough cleaning. And then it was just a matter of going back over the bike once I got it up on the stand and just giving it a quick tune up, and then giving it a once over with the Meguiar's polishing compound just to bring the paint back up to a nice standard. Another one done. So we've done all the normal faff, basic declutter, thorough clean, minor adjustments, and then this bike copped some new bar tape. It's gonna be pretty sad to see this one go, to be honest. I have a bit of a soft spot for these Falcos, but the difference between like these first generations and the generation that I have is actually quite noticeable. While my bike is quite aggressive, I guess, by today's standards, this is even more so. So this is an XL frame. The head tube on this measures 170 millimeters. My personal bike is a large frame, and the head tube on that measures 200 millimeters. So between the 5 years difference between this bike and that, they have upgraded the geometry quite a bit. And I believe that the newer models are even more relaxed in their geometry. Now, my personal bike actually has just 105 wheel sets on there, whereas this looks like it's had an upgrade at some stage. So it's got Mavic Axiom wheels on it with a straight lace flat blade spoke. And I think they must be a little bit lighter, because between my bike and this is actually a noticeable weight difference, and this is a bigger frame. So the only difference between my frame and this is that mine has internal cable routing or semi-internal cable routing. But apart from that, everything else is the same apart from the wheels. I did weigh the two bikes, and this bike, it's a size larger and it weighs 600 grams less than my bike. Keep in mind that my bike does have bottle cages on it, but not 600 grams worth of bottle cages. So yeah, quite a bit of weight difference, and interesting to know. They're definitely not light bikes. My bike weighs in at 9.7 kilos. So this one scrapes in just over 9 kilos. So yeah, they're not climbing bikes by any means, but they get the job done, and they're a great entry level option, especially considering I only paid $200 for my bike and it was in mint condition. So this bike here, technically I only paid what the cost of the Reed Condor was, which worked out to be less than $10, which is pretty crazy. The bar tape technically cost more than the whole bike to me. So yeah, I think it worked out pretty good. It is like probably a bit too aggressive and too long for me. I prefer a slightly smaller frame, but it's gonna be great for a long ride, at least one anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna whack a bottle cage on it, put my pedals on it, and give it a basic fit, get it ready for tomorrow. And then bright and early, I'm gonna take it out on the ride, and yeah, we'll probably do between 50 and 70 Ks, and I'll take the camera with me. So let's go. So we're out on the ride. We're about 12 Ks in, and I just pulled over because the headwind that I'm riding into is pretty aggressive. So you wouldn't have been able to hear anything that I said. But so far the bike's riding sweet. I mean, I didn't think it would ride any different really to my bike. It's definitely more stretched out, which was comfortable in the beginning, but I can already feel it in my upper back, just reaching around so far. But yeah, I'm gonna keep heading out, and then I'll turn it around, cruise back, and then I'll make up the rest of the Ks somewhere close to home, depending on which way the wind's blowing. So we're currently 18 k's in or thereabouts. Pretty much the turnaround point. I don't think I'll travel out much further. The road gets a bit rougher as you go out this way. So when I get back out onto the highway, I might turn left, go over the bridge and out a little bit, and then spin it around and head back. So yeah, had a pretty wild headwind on the way out here. But it felt like as I was getting towards the end, it started to turn around. This road along here seems to have caught a pretty good wind valley. So I know that when I turn around and head out to the highway, I got like 4 k's of pretty strong tailwind, which is going to be fun. And then yeah, on the way home, we'll see how we go. But the bike has been, yeah, unreal so far. Hasn't skipped a beat. I'll have to double check when I get home. I don't know if the front chainring is bigger on this than mine, because it feels like I'm sort of sitting in the middle of the rear cassette for a lot and holding a similar speed to what I normally would. So I'll have to double check the gearing on both my bikes when I get home. If that is the case, I might swap that front chainring out onto my bike, because sometimes I feel like I sort of top out when you get it to that like 50k mark. You just sort of spinning your legs and I can't really push any harder. I don't have enough speed in my legs to turn the pedals over any faster than that. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. It might be worthwhile grabbing a couple of bits off this, swapping them onto my bike. Once again, I just want to say thanks everybody for watching, liking, commenting, and all the subscribers. So I think on the Saturday when I originally filmed myself sitting in the boot, I was just over 100 subscribers, and now it is Monday afternoon and I think I may have cracked just over 200 and I'm at 202. So I'm fucking stoked with that. I don't know. I guess I really enjoy watching bike flip videos on YouTube. So I'm guessing I'm just one more creator that does it, and it's just one more option for you to watch another video of flipping bikes. I could sit there all day and watch it. So that's why I enjoy doing it so much. This ride was supposed to be the following day from when I actually flipped the bike. So it was pissing down rain like early morning. I had a shoot mid-morning, and then in the afternoon I actually had an appointment in Brizzy. And then by the time I got home, it was nearly dark, so I didn't bother. And then yeah, this morning I had work, so I worked from 5 till 12. Got home, jumped straight on the bike. I'm like very underfueled, but I just smashed a whole bunch of sugary stuff before I jumped on, so I feel okay. And yeah, I had basically 2 hours from then to when I have to get home, get changed, jump in the car and go pick the kids up from school. So I'm not going to stand around and waffle on. I'll get the ride done. And yeah, I mean, I know that the rest of the ride, touch wood, is going to go good. The bike ride's great, so as long as I don't get a flat, yeah, it should be sweet. So I won't do like a wrap up at the end of the video. I'll just have this as a wrap up and I'll grab a couple more clips on the ride. But yeah, thank you again for watching, and yeah, until next one. So many cool forestry tracks out around here. So in an upcoming video, I'll get the new whip out, I'll talk you through it, and we'll go hit some fire trail and yeah, maybe even take it to the mountain bike park, put it through its paces. See how much a gravel bike can actually take, hey?